Okay guys, so I'm going to do my Newton's Law video with food, because why not? Let's review what Newton's first law is. Newton's first law says a body remains in a state of motion until an unbalanced force acts upon it. So we can see that when we're getting our pudding ready for dessert time. So as you're scooping the pudding into the bowl, and say you got that last pesky bit of pudding that won't come off the spatula, what do? You hit it against the bowl. So Newton's first law applies here because as the spatula and the pudding are moving, the bowl applies a force to the spatula but not the pudding. So the pudding will continue in its state of motion. It'll continue moving downwards into the bowl because no unbalanced force has been applied to it. Alright. So, on to next, Newton's second law. The acceleration of an object is proportional to the net force applied to it, and the acceleration of an object is inversely proportional to the mass. So I'm going to demonstrate the second part of that law with two different sizes of flour bags. Okay, so we've used up most of our flour in this one, so it's much less massful than this one here that's ready to go next. So, in order to apply Newton's second law here, is if I take both objects here and I apply the same force, so one finger force, the acceleration will be greater for the smaller object than the bigger one. If I wanted to accelerate them both at the same rate, I would have to apply a bigger force to the more massive object. Okay? I think I have pudding on my head. Newton's third law, every force comes in pairs, okay? So when we're getting our lime ready to juice, we often roll it on the table to make sure that the juices get loosened up before we cut it open and squeeze it. So the force pair here is that I'm applying a force down on the lime, but the lime is applying a force up on my hand. It's a normal force interaction. And so you see this imprint on my hand. That's it.